I'm back with another video. Technically still about Destiny, but mostly it's about my time away from Destiny. Yesterday, I published an article about how I effectively quit Destiny for the last month. I've only shown up really to do like the Traveler's Chosen quest, which took like 90 minutes, or to do the Matt Halsam tribute quest, which was also very short. But I really have not been playing. I skipped the double Nightfall week, and yesterday I kind of wrote about all the different like ultra endgame problems that I see as the game not really being rewarding. I think it got a lot of attention. I think some people took it a little far, where they're like, "Yeah, this was why I quit Destiny a year ago," and like, I'm not saying like I'm never coming back to Destiny. Like, I'm coming back next week when Festival of the Lost happens, and I'm still very hyped for Beyond Light. But I have enjoyed kind of taking some space from it. I knew there would be at least a month like this season where there's with the delay, they just they can't fill all the gaps with constant content. So until Festival of the Lost happens, until the end of the interference quest happens, I've been taking a break, and I thought I'd make a video about what I am doing to scratch my loot itch in the meantime. This has been really two main games the past month. The first is Crystal Dynamics' Avengers game, and that has been an experience. It's such a frustrating game because the campaign is awesome. The campaign is way better than anyone expected. It's probably the best looter-based campaign I've ever played. It's a lot of fun. The writing's great, a lot of heart. And then the gameplay is phenomenal. I enjoy all the character kits. I really had a blast with all 6 heroes. Some that seemed weak at first get really strong later. And I think I have all characters at around 140. I have some close to 150, the max, and I'm just kind of waiting on gear drops to increase that. But lately, I've been getting more and more frustrated with the game because I've played for 120, 140 hours at this point, and I have not gotten a single exotic drop, which is just exhausting. And loot is just a problem in general. Like, you can get an epic that is technically better for your build than an exotic, and you can't target farm anything. The game has had a number of patches to fix things, but you can still suffer through crashes. Like, I was playing a 14 floor hive yesterday, and I crashed at floor 10, which was about 40 minutes of work down the drain because you can't rejoin. There's no checkpoints. There's like a 48 floor hive mission chain that if you crash out, I think you'll lose the entire thing no matter where you are. So needless to say, I'm scaling back from Avengers a bit. They need to fix a lot more things. They need to kind of work on their systems and loot. And I'm also just waiting for new content. We should be getting even as early as like an hour or two from when I'm recording this, they might be launching this thing called the AIM Secret Lab, which is sort of their version of a raid, I think, to some extent. And then I know in the next couple weeks here, we're getting the first new character, Kate Bishop. And then Hawkeye comes, and then supposedly Black Panther comes. So I'm not giving up on Avengers, but I gotta put it down, I think, for a little while, and like maybe just do like the bare minimum like daily bounty thing to like collect Polycoron, which is like a time gated currency that you can only get every day. But that's not much gameplay. I just can't sink like long hours into it until it's kind of fixed. But I have been enjoying it. If I wasn't enjoying it, I wouldn't have put this much time into it already. The second game that I've been filling my time with is Genshin Impact. And this game kind of came out of nowhere to really blow me away. I owe Gathalion and Miss 1000 Watts for convincing me to try it out. I know they're kind of into these types of games, and Watts loves anime, so I wasn't surprised that they were going to recommend it, but I was surprised that this Chinese free-to-play gacha game, which by that definition you would imagine is going to be kind of just riddled with horrible microtransactions, it's actually just not really at all. And I'm amazed with how good the game is, like how fundamentally fun it is, and then how much you can actually extract from it completely for free, and how it really doesn't feel like it's forcing you into purchases. It's kind of amazing. And yes, it's very Breath of the Wild. It is directly cloning Breath of the Wild in any number of ways, from its visual appearance to mechanics. There's climbing, there's gliding, there's cooking, there's mining. It's pretty much the same fundamental structure. The difference appears in some positive ways. Like I said, the one thing that Genshin does better than Breath of the Wild is combat. First, there's no breakable weapons, which I like, and second, combat is just really fun. It's a combination of like Pokemon and Avatar: The Last Airbender, where there's all these elemental powers, and then you can combine them together with people on your squad in different ways to create like different effects. Like your water character plus your electric character does electrify, and then it does like AOE damage to enemies. There's a lot of really cool combos you can do like that, and it makes combat really fun. And I already have kind of my team of favorites there. I'm playing some gameplay here where you can kind of see how that works in action. I'm just doing some kind of low level side missions here, and but it doesn't quite reach Breath of the Wild in terms of like its puzzle design. Like in terms of there's some world puzzles where it's like guide the little mystical fairy to the light to pop a chest open or something, but like the dungeons, like there's no like physics based puzzles, no real kind of intense puzzle stuff or dungeon stuff like there is in Breath of the Wild, which is what that game does so well. That said, it's really fun. The story is actually really good. Like the writing is kind of great in some instances. Like I've come across some really genuinely interesting side quests. I am following kind of the overarching story of it, and then just the monetization is not bad at all. Like yes, there are gacha pulls for 4 and 5 star characters, which is essentially a loot box, which is essentially gambling, and you want to get like the 5 star characters because they're really good. And yet, like I have 4 level 40 characters. I can crush anything in my current difficulty of the map. Like I have never run into a difficulty wall where it's like, oh, I gotta pay to buy some upgrade currency for my character, which you can't do really, or I need this other powerful character to help me. Like, no, you can level up normally. You can invest more in your gear and your artifacts and stuff, and then come back and try later and kind of learn from your mistakes. And in that sense, that doesn't require money. And I've gotten about maybe, I don't know, 40 free gacha pulls just with all the promotional stuff. And obviously that's going to slow way down. And the drop rates are not amazing. I have not gotten any 5-star things from dozens and dozens of these free pulls. I've not spent any money yet. To answer that question, I am probably about to spend money, not just because like I'm quasi addicted to the game, but because the developers did a really good job. And it's like, yeah, I'll give you money for your game that you've made very well. And then the other aspect is like you can kind of pay to recharge an energy meter, which lets you reap rewards from certain repeatable quests on the map. So you can sort of like pay to progress faster that way and earn more materials that way. It's not very efficient, and there's still a bunch of other stuff you can do on the map besides that. And like the currency you're buying for that, you are probably just going to want to spend on gacha pulls because that's more fun. And so the goal is to kind of come back every day, like do a certain amount of quests, progress through the main story. Like I'm running out of side quests and places to explore, which is how you kind of leveled up your adventure rank to unlock new missions. So it's starting to slow down for me. But there's still plenty of stuff to do. You can kind of explore infinitely and just increase your rank that way. I don't really feel the need to dump a bunch of money into energy recharging to get my missions done faster. Like it just seems like something I can kind of casually be playing, and I enjoy that. And if they're really adding as much content as they're supposed to, with these like giant new sections of the world being unlocked over time, that's really cool. And this seems like a game I could definitely stick with long term, and it really came out of nowhere to blow me away. So those are the 2 games I've been mostly spending my time on during this Destiny downtime. Even with Festival of the Lost coming, I'm still not expecting to play a ton of Destiny in October. I mean, I'll do whatever I got to do to get the new, assuming there's some new weapon or something you unlock through some sort of Halloween event, whether that's the Haunted Forest or something else. I will buy the Eververse armor because it's awesome. And then whenever the Nokris finale for the Interference or whatever that's going to be happens, I will log in to do that. Obviously, there may be some sort of community event allegedly happening towards the end of the month to kind of lead into Beyond Light. I'm not 100% sure on that. I know there was like an emblem linked to it, but I don't know anything else besides that. And then obviously Beyond Light is going to hit, and I will play the living hell out of that. So I don't care about taking like 2.5 months even off from Destiny, like based on, what the current delay was. And it's been nice to be able to kind of casually play these other games. Casually, like I'm not intensely grinding both of them, but you know what I mean. And yeah, and then November's going to hit, and there's going to be like 80 million games to play. So I'm kind of enjoying this pace while I can, where I get to focus on one or two games at my leisure. So that's what I'm playing. I don't know if I can recommend you spending $60 on Avengers in its current state. Maybe. I definitely can recommend you playing Genshin Impact for free, because it's free and it's great, and you will probably get at least 20 hours out of it, like before you even have to think about maybe possibly spending money. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, and let me know what you've been playing during this kind of downtime in the comments, or if you're just still grinding Destiny really hard. Thanks for watching, subscribe, all that stuff, and I will see you next time.